Hey, everybody. Welcome to Ike Live. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. I know we are. My beautiful co-host for this segment is the one and only Miss Rebecca, a.k.a. Becky, a.k.a. Pigpen. I had to say that.
That is so not anything that can be said ever again. I don't want to be called Pigpen.
I was just messing around with you.
Oh God,
It's
now
not real.
everyone heard you say
All right,
it.
Beck, how you doing? How you doing tonight?
I was doing great.
Okay. By the way, who are you wearing right now?
Every athletic company, I think, is jammed into this outfit for warmth.
Okay.
A lot of layers. And
A lot of layers.
I'm not shouting anybody out. They don't give me this stuff for free.
All right. Well, I just thought you want to tell everybody who you're wearing. This is a great segment because we've got a very special guest joining us from halfway across the world. The beauty of technology
Yeah.
and the internet and Skype and all these weird things I don't even know. We've got a guest on. We're going to be talking about a really cool product that's timely. Because listen, Beck, it's cold. You can't really go fishing right now. We got the holidays coming,
Yeah.
including Christmas. It's a great time to talk about this product. Before we get into it, also let me let you know that producing the show today, we've got the one and only Brian the Carpenter,
No.
aka Ding Dong,
All right.
and we've got Zach the intern with us today. Zach, thanks for coming today. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let me get right to it. You've heard about us. You've heard us talking about this on the show before.
Yes.
You've probably seen some of the commercials. You've probably seen some of the content that we've created.
Possibly our best commercial.
Possibly
ever.
our best commercial ever. I'd put it right up there with number one. But you've seen the whole crew and cast here of Ike Live playing this really amazing new game called the Fisherman Fishing Planet. And man, we've had a blast over here playing the game, and we've got the man behind it all right now joining us via Skype. And before the show started, I asked him. I said, "What is your official title?"
Yeah.
And Becky, he a lot like you with Pro Edge, he does everything.
Everything.
So I'm going to go ahead and call him the designer, mission control, head producer, head honcho of this whole thing.
Yeah.
And we've got Dmitry joining us. Dmitry,
Okay.
how you
Hi
doing?
guys.
How are you?
Great. Thank you.
Now, how did I do with your title? Because you do everything. Did I do okay?
Yeah, mostly I'm producer, but sometimes I'm a graphic programmer. Sometimes I'm DB programmer, client programmer, and artist, and a lot of etc. etc. So lead artist, but it's sometimes. So mostly I'm a producer of the game.
I like it, a producer. Okay. Now, before we get into the game, we already talked about this before we went live here, but where are you at right now? Where are you Skyping from?
Yeah, I'm Skyping from Kiev, Ukraine. Part of our team was in Kiev, part in New York. So now I'm in Kiev, Ukraine, and it's quite dark here because it's already late, and it's quite cold.
Yeah, it's cold. Well, it is getting cold here as well.
We have our fireplace on.
I know, we do have a fireplace on. Let me start by telling you, this is the game is something that we need it, and I want to explain that to you. In today's age, where we're losing a lot of people in the sport of fishing, right? They're getting into other stuff, and I'm talking about kids, teens, adults even, are losing their connection with the outdoors, with hunting, with camping, and especially with fishing. The biggest thing I love about the Fisherman Fishing Planet, the thing I love about this game, I just want to start off by telling you is this is helping getting new people involved in the sport.
Yeah.
I can't tell you, just in the short time that we've played with the game and promoted it, the messages we've seen come through that have said, hey, my kid's a video game kid, and he's never fished, but after playing the game, he wants to go fishing. I've heard it from teenagers, I've heard it from adults. That's pretty awesome. Did you guys consider that when you were coming up with this game? Did you consider the fact that you're impacting so many people and not only getting them to play the game, but getting them to want to go fishing after they play the game? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was an idea before we started to develop the game. So it was the idea how to teach people how to fish. So it's not about the arcade game for fishing, like you okay, just cast fish, cast fish, cast fish. So no, it's a bit more complicated game which trying to give you an idea. The fishing is not so simple, but it's very interesting stuff. So we're trying to teach people how to fish, and not only how to fish, but how to have fun from fishing.
Yeah.
It's not so easily nowadays. So, and the idea is to let people want to fish in real life as they and use the knowledge which they get from the game in the real life fishing. So it's not so simple, but it's not so hard to create a decent fishing simulator. But it's very long process. It's not so basically, it's not so complicated, but it's so many details, about fishing. So,
Yeah.
and you need to be very precise and very exact placed with details about fishing. So, and we started to first of all, then the release beta. First, what we hear, okay, I'm trying to fish the pike in real life, and I never got a trophy pike. So, I got in your game. I'm trying to check, and I see some clues, and I'm going to real life fishing and got a trophy pike finally. So it was the biggest compliment to us as a team who created the Fisherman game. So it's working both sides. So
Yeah.
if you're a fisherman in the real life, you can use all your knowledge and all your habits in the game, and vice versa. So you can grab some ideas from the game. It's starting to teach you how to fish, and you can go to real life fishing and start to fish the fish. Start fishing and start to catch real fish based on your knowledge you got in the game. So it's like a Gran Turismo type simulator. You can go to Gran Turismo, starting to realize how to drive the cars, and go to real world and trying to apply your knowledge here. So it's basically the same stuff.
Yeah, and that's interesting. That's a great point. I didn't really necessarily think of that aspect, but for people that already fish, anglers that are already engaged in it, and especially now, right? Because Dmitry, it's getting cold here. In a couple weeks, everything's going to be frozen. People are going to be hung up in their house, in their office. It is a great way to keep practicing. I never thought about that, right?
Yeah. I also like the fact that there's like all the international locations. There's places where like the average person might not get to go fishing or might
Right.
dream of fishing.
Right.
They get to live that out.
Get to
through-
experience it
yeah,
through the game.
It's cool.
That is cool. Now, speaking of locations, Dmitry, I got to tell you, the reality of the game, I really did appreciate that. As a fisherman myself, I appreciated the scenarios that you guys have created, and the little stuff. And Brian, the producer, and I were talking about this before you came on. It's like, the bait fish that you see. The boils that you see.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
The birds in the back, the cypress trees, the grass. Talk a little bit about that. What was the process? How did you guys develop all that? Because that blows me away. I can't even wrap my hands around that. But it's real. These are real life scenarios. How did you do that?
Oh, we're trying to do a decent game, but we realize we need to do a lot of photorealistic graphics and photorealistic behavior, all of this such nature. So it's quite hard because we're starting to do things which called photogrammetry. It's about 3D scanning of real life trees, grass, wooden logs, some stones, like sand shore and wooden shore or sandbox. So all this stuff we're trying to scan and after it put in the game. But it's not only about this stuff. So we put a lot of works about the weather, about the sky, about lighting, and a lot of work about fish behavior. So you actually realize the water surface is not dead. It's always something on the surface. So it gives you a clue where the fish is, or where the school of fish is, or small fish, bigger fish, predators, or just school fish. So it gives you some clues, but it's not just direct clues, just catch here. but it's more clue about the area or the zone that
Yeah.
you're interested to catch something.
Yeah.
So all this stuff was created in years. So we developed this game about 5.5 years, and it's
Wow.
a really long period to create all this stuff in detail. So we just uh, like doing a lot of precisement to create all these small details which give you like you need to be immersed, and it's give you immersion
Yeah.
inside the game. So without all these details, you don't believe all this stuff is a real fish. So we're trying to put as much detail as possible to give you an immersion style, to give you an immersion in fishing. So and you feel in it. That's it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I think you guys did a great job at that. And the other thing we touched on is the species, right? The
Yeah.
diversity of species, which is really cool. You know, a lot of people here, a lot of our fans and viewers of the show, they have this big thing called a bucket list, and it's, you know, the bucket list is this check off of different species, right? So they might only have bass where they fish, but they want to catch pike, they want to catch zander, they want to catch perch, they want to catch all these different species. Talk a little bit about that. How did you guys come up with some of the scenarios and the species selection? Because I thought that was a cool.
And how many species can you
Yeah,
catch
how
in
many?
the
That's a
game?
great question, Beck. How many species can you catch in this game?
You can catch about 143 fish species.
Well,
Be probably.
Now,
Oh
I'm
my
regretting
God.
asking this question now because I'm never getting you guys off the game ever again.
143. Well, Dmitry, let me tell you, 143. Brian the Carpenter needs to catch 142 to beat what he's got right now because he's only caught one bluegill in his entire life. So
This is not true.
You
That's all right. He can talk all the trash he wants. I'm going to outfish him later on today out on Elmer Lake. Game on, Mike.
no, so 143 species. That's incredible.
And how many lakes or waterways can you fish on?
we have 19. We have a special lake, which is a river in France, River Cruise, exclusive for the fishermen and for fish species exclusive for fishermen. So, and a lot of this, a lot of different stuff like tackles and all this stuff. So, all these things works like in reality. So the fish, if you know how to fish, catch the fish in reality, all the same in the game. But it's a lot of time with trying to do a attack angle of the fish, trying behavior of the bite pattern if you're using a float. So we have different fish have different bite patterns.
Yeah.
You see the float behavior. It's a bit different for every fish you're catching. And all this stuff are physically simulated, and we try to be as precise as we can, but it's required a lot of time, so we need more time actually, and we will do like maybe next version of the game we will do even more simulated and even more realistic than now. But now it's quite good. It's very good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And there are, for people watching and listening right now that are saltwater guys, there is a little saltwater fishing in this game too, right? A little brackish water, little saltwater fishing, some cool species in the salt as well, right?
Yeah, we have a part of Everglades,
Yep.
Yeah.
which have salt water. So, and we have like street bass and some saltwater species which are bigger and they are good fighters. So yeah, a bit. But we are thinking about maybe we'll do some saltwater fishing from the yachts or from big boats in the ocean. But it's in plan, so it's in future.
Very, 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 very cool. All right, now, Dmitry, there's people watching right now. They're watching this. They're listening to this. They're saying, oh, my God, this is what I need for my son, my daughter, my nephew. I got to get this game for them. What are the age ranges for this game? If somebody's watching right now and they're looking at purchasing this for their loved one, what are the age ranges for this game?
The age ranges from 3 years old. So actually, we have a Peggy 3 rating. So it's not so bad, but I don't think really the 3 years old can handle this game. So I think from a teenager, like 11, 12 years, it's or even a bit, but it's probably will not be interested for less ages in terms of real career gameplay. But just to go to a simple lake and catch some fish from 5 years old or even for 7 years old, it's already good. So a lot of our players told us they let their son to play with them, so they trying to teach them, and it's very simple. Actually, it's not so bad. So even on computer, you can use a controller, so it's quite simple to handle it. So no problem.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, speaking of computer, I know there's a lot of different ways that you can play this game, right? You've got Xbox, you've got PS4, you've got a PC version. People are watching and listening right now. What's the best way for them to get this game? How can they go about getting this game?
It's about the habits. So if you're a console player, you probably use a PS4 or Xbox One X. Xbox One X will give you actual 4K resolution, and it's give you a vivid graphics. But you can also use PC. This is Steam. It's a decent graphics and decent game. So probably the best graphics will be on PC, of course, because the PC have a lot of power of GPU, but it costs you. So costly PC or console, it's up to you.
Gotcha. Now, here's the thing I want to know. I'm holding one right now, Dmitry. I'm holding the physical game. This is the one for the PS4. I'm holding it in my hand right now. And I just want to know, who was the male model that you used for this guy on the video? Because it sure looks a lot like Ed Bassmaster. Pretty sure that's Ed. Is that Ed Bassmaster?
No.
No. Okay.
No, it's just an art. So this is game art, and this was created by our artists in 3D. And after it was created for in 2D. So
wow,
it's had no real prototype.
Okay, on the next version,
Mike
is
wants
there any way to put my face on this package? Is there any way to put my face on this? And I'll shave if you would like me to shave. I can do that too.
I don't think the shave is good stuff. So yeah, we can discuss it. No problem.
Okay,
No problem.
There you have it. Brian the Carpenter. I've always wanted to be on a video game. Brian the Carpenter.
Here it comes. I got a question. So I was playing the other night, and there was another angler walking the bank with me. She was probably 5'7", blonde, built really well. I was wondering who the motivation was for her.
Ooh,
Prototype? You're asking about
prototype. Wow.
He made Brian really happy.
Yes, she was fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you for putting her in the game.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, but we know in our game only 5% of the players are females. So
Wow.
And are there more coming?
We need to work on that.
Yeah.
We do
I
need
mean,
to work on that.
I mean,
Yeah.
using female character is not an actual female. So
Brian doesn't believe you.
I don't believe you.
That's awesome. Well, I tell you, I'm excited. Like I said, this is an exciting thing. The sport of fishing needed this, and honestly, thank you from my perspective. Thank you for creating this game, because for a lot of years, I felt like sport fishing, predator fishing, was left out. Right? You see all these really cool games, simulated games popping up in other sports. Baseball, football, hockey, tennis, golf. And I'm like, for crying out loud, will somebody create a damn fishing game that's cool? And you did that. So I want to thank you for creating a cool game.
Yeah,
Very,
that's
very
awesome.
cool game. Very good game.
thank you guys. You're always welcome. So your motivation and your excitement is our goal to give us the forced to do more and more and more. So it's very hard to create a decent simulation because it's a very long job, actually. You can see the light only in the end. So we're trying to do in 5 years, and only now you see it's great. It's now in the form of the disk. So it's 5 years work, which finally gives us a discs, and only now we can show you guys what we are doing. So it's quite hard, and your excitement gives us a lot of stuff. So it's give us a lot. Thank you.
That's awesome. Well,
That's
we look forward to working with you in the future and continuing to see the improvements of the game. And thanks for coming on the show. And stay warm. And I think we're going to we'll let you go because I think it's what time is it there? Like 10, 11 o'clock at night or something? So we'll let you go. We know we're keeping you late. But Dmitry, thank you so much for coming on Ike Live, and continued success with the Fisherman Fishing Planet. Wish you the best.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Probably you will see a lot of new stuff for Fisherman. So thank you for your show, and thank you for your excitement. Bye-bye.
You got it.
Thank you.
Dmitry, everybody. Wow. That's awesome. The Fisherman Fishing Planet, Brian the Carpenter, available for any of your gaming needs, whether it's Xbox, PS4, PC. Check it out. The Fisherman Fishing Planet. It's a pretty good game.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Pretty cool.